I'm John.
I'm David.
And we're here to talk to you today about the handheld penetrometer.
No, we're not.
I love that thing though. No, we're here to talk to you about roller compacted concrete. David?
Well, John, you know, we had a question come in off of our LinkedIn from Gary Egan.
Ding!
And he said, what do you know about RCC for pavements?
Dave, what do you know about RCC for pavements?
So they've tried this out in California.
Right.
So let's talk about RCC in general.
Sure.
RCC is roller compacted concrete. You know, it came into the industry because, particularly in places like dams where we use a lot of concrete, it just took a lot of labor, it was expensive, it took time.
Concrete, that is.
Concrete, that's right. But roller compacted concrete, we could place it like you do soils. You could bring it in bottom dumpsters, dump it out, roll across with rollers. Bing, bang, boom, you're done, you know, fast.
Bing, bang, boom.
You know, fast, easy, saved labor. Not that we want to put people out of work, but you know, so that's the way it was. So
now, just for our mixed design gurus out there,
right.
The difference between a standard, let's say residential concrete,
right.
and roller compacted concrete in the mixed design is you're going to have a higher percentage of a granular skeleton in your concrete composite, a lower paste content. Your slump, it's going to be a very tight mix with as little paste as possible.
And as little slump as possible. You want to get on it with rollers almost immediately.
So inevitably what you end up making is one of the ugliest concrete structures. Not to play the bad cop, but during David's wonderful definition, he just forgot to say that RCC is the ugliest type of concrete out there. So bear that in mind. Please, David, continue.
Well, it could be ugly, but I mean those those vibratory rollers, they make a reasonable surface.
Reasonably ugly surface.
But
paste is gone. You just have this open aggregate and maybe there's a little paste here and it dusts a little bit. And
let's bring in.
I'm not playing the bad cop. I'm just.
Let's bring in what PCA said, John.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
There we go.
PCA looked at it. They
do. They have a great definition of
high flexural strength, 500,000 psi. Now, John, is that much like the other concretes that we see?
Well, that's what's required. So yeah, to make this happen, you need a very high flexural strength. But there's a reason for that, and it's because we're not putting steel in.
Right.
We're not putting saw, which helps save time, but the inevitable reality is if it's not done correctly, you might induce some cracking. So you're right, there are many wonderful benefits that the PCA goes into detail ad nauseum, bless them. and I think we can put the link below, right, Patchouli? Yeah, I definitely think that you need 500 to 1,000 PSI, but that doesn't necessarily mean you will get it. That normally is what's required.
Sure, we see 750 flex all the time in specification, so we can make that with RCC.
Right.
Compressive strength, PCA reports 4,000, 10,000 PSI.
Shouldn't be hard with a low slump, something that's compacted.
Yeah, we see 4,000 FC prime specs all over the place, so
right.
You know, it can make that. It does say what you say, it has low water content, low cement content.
And you know, with that, it is going to make a more durable concrete. I mean, it is going to be more resilient to physical and chemical attack. Obviously, if you have your standard ASR issues there, and of course, de-icing salts and brines, but it is going to be a more durable concrete because you are going for a lower water cementitious ratio, which leads to a denser concrete.
Let's move over to construction. You dump it, you roll it. No forms, no rebar, no joints. I mean, quick, easy.
Finished surface, no broom to it.
Quick, easy, bing, bang, boom.
No tining. No, and again, it's a great product.
Of course.
There is no way for me to argue if RCC makes a good pavement that will last a long time. You can look at the RCC Pavement Association and see plenty of information, case studies. And then if you look at I think the American Concrete Paving Association might even have some RCC jobs in their, quarterly or...
I think they have an annual award for that.
Well, but it's also in their magazine too that they
right.
oftentimes have case studies. So there's a lot of information published on it. It's just what people don't often recognize is that it is designed to be an ugly type of concrete.
Yeah.
And if you're not prepared for that, and you want somebody to bless the surface and close it up and make it look pretty, you're going to end up creating a subpar surface, which means subpar concrete.
Right.
So it's
like everything, has pluses, has minuses.
It has pluses, has minuses. It is going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money.
No doubt. So to finish with the point you made, there is an RCC association.
There is an RCC Pavement Association. There are bells and whistles out there that you can purchase to topical admixtures
Right.
to close up that surface, harden that surface, and get that finish that you would get with more standard paving operations or
Right.
concrete mixes and operations.
I think that's key. We need to get that surface done correctly. That's the first line of defense.
Well, it's not incorrect though. I mean, RCC was designed to have an imperfect surface. Like I'm not trying to be rude when I say it's the ugly part of concrete, but it is. So unless you have the tooling, the materials, and the knowledge base to close up that surface using topical additives, you know, just recognize that going into it.
Yeah. So, good product. Need to think about what you're doing. More information available, RCC Pavement Association. I think that's what we have to say on RCC.
Right, and as the bad cop here, I really can't argue against using RCC.
Of course.
You know, for, what was it, Gary in California? Try it out, man. I mean, do a little testing section. You know,
Right.
renting a roller from a small business rental, you know, it's not hard. And getting that type of concrete, it's not too expensive.
Great.
So yeah, give it a try. Let us know how it turns out. Thanks for the question, man.
Thanks for the question. We appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm John.